All right, what's up, guys? This podcast is sponsored by Yak Attack, yakattack.us. And Yak Attack is the leader in the kayak fishing industry, specializing in kayak fishing rigging solutions. Everything you can think of on a kayak rigging, camera mounts or anything that you need on the deck of a kayak, Yak Attack has made them in high quality gear. As kayak anglers themselves, they are tightly integrated into the kayak fishing community and are acutely aware of what the sport needs. It all starts with the gear track or the Mighty Mount. The gear track comes in a variety of different sizes and colors. The screwball that attaches to that has everything that you attach to the screwball. So it's a real simple idea. It's a track, a ball with the T-bolt on the bottom of that. It screws in, tightens to the track, and everything is with the ball joints is attached to that. It's an awesome system, and it works great. With a variety of rod holders, camera mounts for still cameras and GoPros, light poles with the day flags that folds into the flag. The poles, the actual light poles themselves, fold in like a tent pole and fold into the flag, and the flag becomes a little carrying bag for the whole unit. Fish finder mounts for the battery and the actual transducer that hang off the side of your boat, and the black pack crate system, which is basically a souped up crate system that you attach everything to, rod holders and your light flags and even your camera mounts. And all Yak Attack's gear is made in the USA. What we have this month is the panfish, portrait, and the dog bone combo. And what this is the thing that actually took Lee's job. What you basically have is the panfish portrait on the top. You unscrew that, put it on top of here, and you have the dog bone attaches to the other joint that goes right to the ball joint, to the T-mount, to the track mount, and that's how you have your camera. Mine I have set up where I have tape on the bottom here, so when I have it laying down, I have it loose enough where I lay it down and it's forward, and this is when I have my camera already on it. And with my rope, I'll just pull it forward. This right here is just to keep this from swiveling while I have this loose. And here's the same thing up top. On my cameras, I have my ball mounted to the cameras, actually, connected to it, and it stays on like that. I have to glue one of them, and actually my other one broke off again. But I just attach that to here, and then screw that in, tighten that down, and I have it all set up. The friction disc is right here that you can swivel the whole thing around without having to mess with the ball joint on it. So this is what this camera mount right here allows me to take camera shots that are as good as somebody in front of me taking them, and that's been incredible. And that's how it's taken Lee's job. All this, huh? Oh yeah, just about. All this stuff is at yakattack.us. Check it out, yakattack.us. Come on in, guys. Usually I have all the other stuff, but I was doing.
We had a lot of stuff going on,
and I was doing the other thing before that too. So.
Yeah. So did anybody see that live?
6 people. They're the same guys that are on right now. Yeah.
I know Shane watched it live.
Yeah.
It matters. Maggie was trying, but the connection wasn't good at the restaurant.
We should.
She's in upstate New York too. Yeah. She's way out of the city right now.
We should have teased it and then did it at the very end.
Yeah,
just to build up the anticipation for Lee. Oh, maybe we'll do it again.
All right, this is podcast number 28. It's August 24th, 2014, and we got Jay Brooks from VirginiaKayakFisherman.com, and we've got Lee, and Jay has just come back from the Florida Fishing Tournament, the Extreme Kayak Fishing Tournament. It's an offshore tournament.
Yep.
And we were going to have Jack Doltry in here, but he lives up in Maryland, and since it was windy, he went home today.
Yeah.
So,
there's no fishing.
Yeah, no fishing today at all. 25 mile an hour winds out there.
By this evening, it's 25 30.
Yeah.
It's nice.
But you fished in it.
Yep.
You fished down. Did you go down there a whole week?
No. The story actually starts.
Before we're not going to get to it yet. But
I went down to Florida a week early. Fished with Jason Stock down on the Gulf of Mexico side. Yeah. And then fished with him the day before the tournament. They'd already been down there for the whole week though, so they were.
Yeah, and that's why. I wanted Jack in here because his what he did to win that tournament was pretty good. So that was. But you were with him for most of the time.
He went through with me.
He also has another awesome fish story too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you also cut a permit too. So yeah, I want to hear about that. Yeah. So we got a lot. We've got a lot of that to talk about. If you were watching live, and the video will be up on my YouTube page of Lee's doing his
ALS ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, his ice bucket challenge, and we dipped him in a bucket, 30 gallon.
30 gallon.
Yeah. Full of ice. It was nice and cold too. So yeah, you guys who saw it live, we did it right here before the podcast. So yeah, so doing it to ALS, and as kayakers we tag on Heroes on the Water also. So heroesonthewater.org. And I went fishing a lot this week. You went fishing a lot this week, and you've been in Florida. So who wants the local guys first, because the ones who fish because you got your stories are gonna be more spectacular than ours.
Well, I mean, the only thing I did was fish with him this week.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, I'll tell my stuff, and we'll get to you since you fished with him.
Oh no, we went fishing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, we went to Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel and fished for spades. It's a shitty fucking paddle out, and then we fished. We got some spades, and then it was a rougher paddle back in.
Yeah. One of those days where the change of the tide really wasn't worth it, but whatever. We got out. We caught some fish. It was not a waste.
No, one of the ways it was fun. But it was pain in the ass, but it was fun once we got there. But the 2 days before, I was paddling out and I come across a cobia. So I tell you, you haven't heard this story.
No, I heard.
Oh, he told you about it. Okay,
somewhere.
yeah. So I'm paddling. I'm just sitting paddling, and I'm between. I'm already past the second smallmouth channel, and I see one. I'm in front of the current. So I'm in front of the pilings, in front of the piling on the current. So it's the first piling, and I see a fish coming around the front of it. Like I've seen them when they just circle around. The current was slacking, so it wasn't a lot of current. So he was coming around the front, and I just saw his back and his tail, and it was a positive idea. I didn't even have to stand up. I just peeled off, and the thing was, I looked like a 40-incher, right? What I saw, it looked like a 40-incher, and I don't have any big gear, but I had a flounder rod. And so I had that, and I was like, okay, if it's a 40-incher, I can handle that. It's got 30-pound test on it, 30-pound leader on it. I can handle a 40-incher. And so what was cool was how calm I was in that moment when I saw it peeling off. Just I was observing myself, and if we come across reds or something, we get excited because it's an easier shot. You've got multiple fish. When you come across a cobia, you've got to be really, really fucking calm and focused because you got one fish, probably one shot at one fish, right? So I already know this. So I peel off and I'm like, breathing. And halfway through rigging, I'm like, wow, I'm really fucking calm. But I didn't think it was big either. So I was just, whatever was going to happen, I thought it would be fun. I rig up my, 1.5 ounce rod. It's just a flounder rod with a storm blower. So I possibly could straighten the hook on this thing too, even on a 40-incher. So I know I have to be careful. But the tackle is going to limit me how hard I can pull on it. So I get back and I come out. I can still see him circling on the piling when I'm sitting down. And I get right up on the piling and I stand up, and he's like a 60-pounder.
Yeah.
And I go from like, all right, I'm kind of excited to, disappointment, like severe, like, oh no,
Too big.
too big for what I have. And here again, it's a fucking sea monster I'm looking at. And this time I don't even have a shot at it, So I should have filmed it. What I should have done, because I'm standing there and basically on top of the piling, and the thing's just still figure eighting, still circling around, and not really bothering with me too much. So I had my rod, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna try, see if he goes after it. If he peels away from the piling, I don't even think I'm gonna have a chance to land because I think he's gonna wear through the leader, But I made a couple shots. As he figured A1, I pulled it out from the piling and let it drop, and then dip, and he went below it. Right, and I was like, oh my God, I scared him off, and he came right back up on the other side and started circling around. I was going, all right. So I made another pitch at him, and this time he kind of turned at it, and I let it drop and twitch, and he went, and just turned and kept circling, didn't even dive that time. And then he came back a third time, and I made another shot at him, and kind of like jigged it at him, and he dove, and didn't come back up. Yeah. So, yeah.
He just wasn't hungry. I mean, it sounds like.
I mean, but maybe he didn't want to effort of a little minnow,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I almost had enough time to catch a croaker, rig up, and throw at him because he was just there. I mean, he wasn't. Yeah. And and obviously even standing on top of him wasn't bothering him that much. Yeah. Yeah. Because once I drifted in, once I saw he was that big, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get on top of him. I'm just gonna look at him. So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. So next time we go out, we're eyeballing pilings all the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, there's nothing.
Yeah. And I've seen him before. And that's the thing is, almost
I've never seen it.
before this, that day, Kobe had been on Cape Henry. So
Right.
that's lower part of the
Right.
mouth of the bay. And so that morning before I left, I said, you know, they're over there. There might be down here. You know, they might be in this vicinity. I might have a shot of seeing one if there's, you know. And I was like, should I bring my shit? I'm just because I usually going out of spades, coming back.
Yep.
You know, that's all I had to wear. That's all I'm doing. And yeah, so after I saw it, I was like, damn, I knew I was going to see one today.
Yeah.
It was one of those deals. Yeah. Then I hit the backyard, caught some croaker, and there's decent croakers right now. I mean, you can catch a dinner, you know, and I like croaker because they double their population every 14 months, so that's why there's no limits on them.
Right.
So yeah, if you kill fish, you want the croakers. I think the croakers are good anyway. I fillet them.
Yeah.
14 inches is good fillet anyway. And I also went to
Filleted croakster.
It's good. Little fish sticks. I also did something new this week. I went to the HRBT on the Hampton side.
Okay.
Which was, I've never been over there. I work in Hampton, the Appomattox River Company in Hampton. I work there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So those are Thursday and Friday. I'm like, I want to fish on that side. It's really cool. It's no bridge because it's right there. The tube is right there. The tube is an awesome drop off. It's sand, but and I was catching again 14-inch croaker. You know, no flounder, but that feels like it would be a good flounder spot because that drop off was extreme. I mean, just bouncing. Every time I bounced two, I dropped 2 feet. So I was just letting out line. I was always dropping on this wall.
Wow.
It was pretty nice. Yeah, and it's easy to get to. It's like no paddle. It's like paddling to the ships.
Yeah. We're there.
Yeah, but it's a cool place. And I'm sorry if I spot blow anything up, but I mean, there's a marina right there.
Right.
These people got mad at that. It's been kind of a known place anyway. So, yeah. Yep. So that was my fishing this week. So you had some nice blue water.
Yeah.
And you went to fish with Stock. So Jason Stock. So you fished the western side. You fished Gulf.
Yep.
And you got both sides. You got
Yeah.
the Gulf side and the. Is that the first time? It's not the first time you've seen the Gulf, is it?
No. I grew up in Texas, so
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I'm technically.
yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean-
well, for me, when I went down there, what was weird about it was a different sea. It acted different than our bay.
Right.
You know, that's
Yeah.
I came from here, and my perspective was the bay, and you know, even when it got windy, it never got as bad as this would get. You know, it was just
Right.
that weird. But the water, in that part of the, I knew. Where were you? Where were you?
We're in Bradenton.
Which is
It's just below Tampa.
okay. Yeah. So in that part of the Gulf, it's like real crazy, like teal blue water.
Yeah,
Did you see
it was.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. I drove down there, took my kayaks, and the story actually starts in Afghanistan. As funny as it sounds, I'd seen Jack before. I didn't know him. He friend requested me. Said, "Hey, I saw you were in Afghanistan. You want to meet up for dinner sometime?"
Oh, he's over there.
Yeah. I mean, he was at different base at different times.
How
so
far out?
Where in it?
How far away from you?
Oh, well, he travels around a lot.
Clicks.
Yeah,
Clicks.
yeah. Many clicks.
Several clicks.
So we had time, and I was on the same base, and he was at the same base. So you know, we kind of, without giving so much information, be like, hey, you know, are you here? Pretty much, that was the gist of it. And finally, he was like, yeah, I'm here. So you want to go get some dinner? So we met up, talked with him again. You know,
It's crazy you haven't fished with him before. And you haven't. I mean,
no, I've seen him on the water. Never talked to him. Honestly,
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, my history with him is pretty cool because when I did the bay tour and I was really kind of scouting out that these areas of the bay that I've never heard about fishing coming out of, like Hunger River. I mean, and when I got there, I realized that it was a really beautiful place. I mean, this place is flats and there's really nowhere to get to. I mean, this would be a really kayakers up here need to like figure out this place because it's beautiful, and it was great specs and just reds and flats. So when I was getting on the Maryland Kayak Fishing Snagline.com, I was getting on there a lot, and because those guys, when I was getting information about Maryland when I was doing my tour, and after I came back, I was like
Option number 2, Snagline.
So yeah, I was always contacting those guys, and you know that when I showed that area, I was like hoping those guys would pick it up and kind of go there. And Jack and another guy from Snag, like one of those guys.
Yeah.
And when they were coming down here a lot, and they introduced themselves to me, and I was like, oh, you guys are doing that? Oh, awesome! And they were like, yeah, check that out. Yeah, it was cool. So that's my history with him.
Yeah.
I've known he's been a hard charger kayak fisherman for a while, and I've had mad respect for him because I've seen him he's put his time in. There, here, you know, everywhere he goes, he really puts it to it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's my history with him.
I actually didn't like him at first. I didn't know him, but I knew he was cocky, and there wasn't enough room for two cocky guys being friends there. So once I talked with him, it was cool. We hit it off right off the bat.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, you really need to look into this tournament. I think that some northern guys can go down there. Some Oklahoma guys just won the last tournament. I think some northern guys could go down there and win this tournament."
Oh, really? So Oklahoma guys won the last one?
The sailfish tournament. They had a sailfish tournament. And they won it. He goes, "Why
They
can't?"
got like 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, 2 sailfish. Why?
stick face.
Why?
Yeah, so he was like, so he said, hey, you know, we go down there and win this thing, and so he kind of told me, he mapped out his plan for me, and I said, you know what, that's fine, okay, I'll do it. And then so things didn't work out for the first tournament. We were supposed to fish the first tournament.
Is it a series?
Yeah, there was 2. There was one early in the year, and then there was I want to say it was
They also had one in the Bahamas.
yeah, the Bahamas was the first one, I think.
Yeah.
And then they had the one off Pompano, and then they had the second one off Pompano. So we all rolled our ticket back to the second one because Jack wasn't going to make it in time. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on at the time, so I went ahead and rolled mine back as well. So ended up having to go by myself. The guy I was supposed to go with, Billy.
Oh, that's right. He was
he dropped out on me. But,
that's right. Yeah.
So I ended up going down there. I'm lucky enough that I'm friends with Jason Stock, so hit him up. He was like, hey, I'm open these 3 days. Which days do you want to fish? I said, okay, that's going to be the best day for me. I told him it was like a Wednesday. So I drove down there. He goes, you want to kayak or boat fish? I go, I don't want to catch reds and specks, man. I can do that here. We catch pretty good ones. So
if I go to Florida, I want to catch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, we caught
snooks.
almost citation. They caught almost citation specks. You know, so it's supposed to a 5-pounder in the tournament a couple weeks ago. So we got them.
Oh yeah.
So,
but yes, tarpon and snooks.
yeah, that's what I told him. I
Tarpon
go,
and snooks.
so if we're gonna go with the kayak, you know, I want to catch a new species. That's the biggest thing for me. So he said, okay, well, you know, we'll go out in the boat. That's cool. So
just make sure he was just getting you.
Yeah. I just wanted to catch fish. That's all I cared about. So we went out, and he goes, "Look, I know you don't want to catch redfish, but they're here and they're snapping." So
just got the skunk off real quick.
Yeah. So we showed up. I caught a little jack right off the bat, and then all these crabs were getting flushed out. So then we started dipping netting all these crabs, and you know we got a couple hundred of these, you know, crabs, perfect size, a little bit bigger than a fiddler crab. So we hooked them up.
Couple hundred.
Couple hundred. They were just everywhere.
Blue crabs.
Yeah. I don't know what they were.
But they're swimmers.
They're like this. Yeah, they're all on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
But they're swimmers.
I don't know. Yeah.
Or probably equivalent.
Calico jewels. Equivalent to like calico jewels.
Because
they're small.
Yeah.
That size.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So we were just casting up to you
John
know.
love them.
Well,
Kobe loved them too. This guy, the 55-pounder I caught on Brian, or Brian's brother caught. I gaffed on his boat the other week. Had like 12 and a half in his stomach.
Yeah.
12 and a half.
Calicos.
Yeah, calicos. All of them.
Yeah.
Like the same size. Like
He had to be rooting and being close to the shoreline, right? Basically, because then that where calicos pretty much hang, or do they go
I
offshore?
thought calicos are like, just I don't know. I think they're just somewhere like they swim.
Okay. I didn't know if their area kind of like, you know, mole crabs were
You don't
close to
really
the shore.
catch them on your bottom baits that often.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Besides,
called,
you're at the shoreline when you
crab
always get them pinched. Those are what's pinching your feet when you're on the beach when you go swimming. When you get pinched in the feet, that's calico.
eaters.
Because I've come up with them and
Right.
been stuck.
Yeah. I thought you were saying Kobe. We're pinching your feet. I was like, oh well.
Let's go to the beach.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, I don't think a pinch. Voom, foot in the mouth. Rash. Right
Yeah.
here, right around the ankle.
Yeah. So we went out. Ended up catching 3 oversized reds. He knew they were there. We could see them.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. They weren't really turned on yet. And he goes, hey, you know, if we sat here, they're gonna really get turned on here a little bit. And he goes, but let's go out to the permit. He has a couple of racks that he likes to go. Yeah. So.
So it's off. You went offshore.
Yep. So he had a buddy. We picked a buddy up at the dock. Went out. Anchored up.
What is this?
Car alarm.
It's not mine. Yeah, like we showed up, they're swimming around the boat.
Almost made it in that bottle. Too.
Like
It didn't go in?
No, it didn't go
I
in.
thought it was
Made it in a bottle. Almost made it in a bottle.
the permit were swimming around the boat. It was crazy, just right off the bat. And they go, there they are. Those are the
Like
big ones.
spadefish?
Yeah, well, no, the spadefish were there too, and I asked them about the spadefish. I go, well, y'all ever catch these spadefish? You know, and they're like, no. I'm like, well, why? They fight really hard. They go, yeah, we don't care about those things. Well, I mean, they got, you know, we're fishing for permits,
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you got fish this big. Well,
Yeah.
spades are not huge right there.
Yeah, I mean, they're a little bit big because no one fishes for them. So they're on the wrecks, you know, they come up eating the jellyfish, yeah.
No,
no,
do they
no,
realize they're
no
really
one-
good?
They're not that good.
They are good.
Yeah, but they got permit. They got permit and all these
They
other
don't eat
fish.
those though.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
dude,
thought those were
they're
on
delicious.
I thought those were on like the tarpon and no, that's tarpon and bonefish.
Tarpon and
Those are the
bonefish.
ones that are
And
protected, yeah.
snooks are really protected too, but they have.
But they have season for those. But I hear those
There's probably a permit season too, but
Yeah.
there's
There's a lot for sure.
because
it
it was
looks
the
like
same.
a giant pompano.
It's the
It
same
looks
family,
delicious.
right? It's the same
It
family.
looks like a pompano.
It's the same
I
family,
don't
species,
know.
genus.
I wouldn't know. But yeah, it looks exactly the
Yeah.
same to me.
Like in the book, they'd be in the same pages,
Yeah.
type of thing.
What bigger one is this? So we were hanging out. They didn't bite, and then he goes, "Well, if you want to rig up that little rod, because he had like this little like red rod. He's like, if you want to rig up that little rod, you know, you can fish off that, but you're gonna have to lay the wood if you get a bite on that one." Okay, that's fine. You know, that's what we got to do
So you
here.
haven't caught him yet? You haven't caught him?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just sitting there. So I throw out, you know, one of
So
the
you're
crabs.
seeing, okay, so you're looking down and you're seeing spades, and under that you're seeing the permit.
Well, I mean, every now and then they'll swim around the boat, check out the boat.
Okay,
and
so
then-
one will come out, it's not a school.
No, it's school. It was a school.
So a school is like spadefish. They would basically,
bigger, yeah.
But yeah, just giants.
Yeah, they're just
But they
swimming around the
come
boat,
up
looking
and
cute
come
and
in
then
and
disappear.
go back down, yeah.
And so at the same time, they were live chumming, so they had all these live bait that they cast, and they throw it off the back of the boat. Just nothing but Spanish everywhere. You could literally, just toss it at them, and then you're instantly hooked up. I mean, it was crazy. So they're like, yeah,
How big were those?
about the same size as here, you know, like this big.
Okay, yeah.
So,
What fish is that?
Spanish.
Spanish. Oh yeah.
majestic Spanish.
What?
Majestic.
Different ones?
No, I'm just
Some fucking regional names.
yeah, like a bonita or false albacore.
No, those are completely
No, I
different.
know.
And there's the name of them.
There's
But-
bonitas, false albacores, skipjacks, and
All different.
another one of the ones that are inshore. I can't remember.
Fucking
There's
car
a bunch
alarm.
of- Yeah, the car alarm's killing me. How bad is that on the audio?
Probably not that bad. It's not that bad. Maybe not.
Nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so long story short is, we get a good bite, and it just happens to be on the little rod. The little rod just bucks straight over.
Okay, well, what do they usually use for it? Like a
Just a
medium?
little bit bigger. I would say, no, it didn't. I would say that they're probably like somewhere around the 5, maybe 6,000 series. So somewhere along that size.
Okay.
And then
so
this one was like a
medium
4,000.
heavy.
Yeah.
Medium heavy.
Yeah.
They're not doing chicken rods and nothing like that.
No. Yeah. It was.
How deep's the structure there?
I want to say it was only like 30 feet.
So it's 30 feet to where they're going to get in the shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're on top.
And I'm already casted out. So, yeah, so he was like, you got to lay the wood. So I get hooked up, get the rod, and instantly, because what we got to do here, hey, if he's going down, I'm laying the wood.
Yeah.
So I got in trouble for that. They go, don't do that. Don't do that. So, because I mean, it was just like, hey, I got to slow him down. You told me he's right here. So he's going to rack me up quick.
You can't come off and go through the pilings there.
Yeah. I mean, so he ended up taking me around the front of the boat like 4 or 5 times, and where I anchored up, so I got to go underneath the anchor line and over there, and it was wild. And finally, they got a good picture of him. They're like, yeah, this is a good one, man. You need to take your time with this one. Yeah, it is a good one. So we get up to the boat, get some photos. Got those up
Okay,
online.
how big?
We didn't even get a measurement. It's giant, man. It's a trophy. Like I told him,
Well, put your hand. I mean, and be realistic with the hands up type of thing.
realistic, like this.
Tail hanging out that side.
Yeah, like tails right here.
Face here.
Yeah.
Face
Have you seen the picture?
No, I did, but let me see it again.
What if I hold up the camera?
Well, I might find it and then
Oh, okay.
put it on.
Okay, I was gonna show you.
Is it on your Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
It's on the website.
I did
and
see it, and I
Facebook.
think I liked it, but yeah, just to get a better idea.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. God damn, that is big.
So I don't know if you can.
Yeah, and I'll also put it up there.
Yeah, it was trophy.
Just for the live
What's it
viewers
like?
right
Was it
now.
like 20 pounds or so? Bigger?
Yeah,
A lot
I think
more?
it was bigger. Yeah, I think it was
Like
bigger.
30
than 20
pounds. So like,
I would say between 20 and 30.
like a gigantic sheep's head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except with a forked tail, like fast as a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
rock.
it was crazy. So, yeah, I was super excited. I told Michael that made my trip, man. I'm done. I mean, we do whatever you want now. I'm set.
Now, how was the actual? You're on light
Show
tackle.
me the speckled trout. And have any popping corks.
Yes. I'm ready to drift some minnows back now. Don't care.
How was I know you had light tackle, so you really couldn't fight them like we're used to here. But what was their? I mean, is it their fight like a jack? Sheep's head kind of.
Yeah, I would say it was more like a sheep's head. Like you would think you're getting up on them, short pumps. You get them start.
You kind of stop and go.
Yeah, and then he decided, no, we're not doing this. So he goes straight. He's trying to get you.
Sideways lean.
Yeah, he was trying to get you down to the bottom again. I mean, it was more like a giant sheep's head. So I mean, obviously I like that.
And jack, so speedy.
Yeah,
sprints, like longer sprints.
Yeah. So it was. I kept on thinking I had him whipped, and he turned the tables on me real quick. So.
That's badass.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's cool because that's a species we ain't got.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was cool.
Although
fucking big one.
Although Ken's probably gonna fucking catch one trolling off this week. God damn.
Hooked up.
Yeah.
They've been catching.
He caught 2 kings.
Well, what was the
ribbon fish.
Ribbon fish. I mean,
There was some
giant ribbon
fish.
fish.
He caught houndfish trolling too. He caught a big houndfish on the plug. He caught several of those big ribbon fish. He caught 2 kings. He caught a false albacore, a nice false albacore, like a 15, 16 pound false albacore. It looks like a real nice, unless it's just a weird camera. But I mean, it looks like a real nice false albacore according to the size of that plug he's using.
Yeah.
And 3 miles off Sandbridge, a mahi.
Wow.
Healthy Grin Sport Fishing.
Yeah.
Again.
Yep.
Always on Facebook. I mention it every time.
Yep.
Follow him.
Yep.
If you don't follow him, you should.
Yep.
Like I said, the information is a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
So we ended up catching 2 more. So those guys caught 2 more. There's
on
some
the heavier
more ones.
tackle?
Yeah.
Did you get a shot on the heavier tackle?
Yeah, I reeled one of them in. I mean, it was like this big.
Okay.
It was a good eater size. So they
that
kept
should have been on the light tackle. And
Yeah.
So they ate it.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah, they kept
That's what I like. I got a
two-
picture.
two
Rick sent
for-
me a picture the other day that I really like. Like Marlin coming over the back of a boat going gaff.
Jesus.
Yes, that's what I love it.
They eat those? Marlon?
It might have been during a tournament.
Alright.
It might have been.
Tail wrapped or whatever.
It might have been like. We've already let go 10 of them. Man. Fuck this one.
They're a nuisance.
This won't leave me alone. Give it the stick. How many times are we gonna catch this stupid thing? Kill it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was cool. We tried to snap a fish. It was real slow
on the
some
rack?
grounds.
Same rack?
Yeah. No.
Snapper
We went to
fishing
another
takes
rack.
like crazy. Like the current has to be perfect.
It's
And,
like sea bass fishing, right? Kind of just bait.
Yeah, I mean, again, it
Down low?
wasn't that deep. I mean,
I bet they wax them on those Lucanus jigs, dude.
I don't know. I mean, we were just using like the minnows, pretty much. But
Oh my goodness, yeah.
yeah,
They annihilate a Lucanus jig. Man.
we rigged up a hand line, dropped it down, and he was like, "Go ahead and put on the gloves before you even put the bait in the water." The bait's this big, mind you. This is how big the bait is. He goes, "Go ahead and put on these gloves," because he wanted to go for a Goliath grouper. And I was like, "You're pretty confident." And he goes,
Why does he want to handline a grouper?
Oh, I mean, because they're giant. They're a couple 100 pounds.
Why handline it? Is it?
Oh, because I mean, it's stupid on a rod and reel. Like yeah. I mean, if you want to mess around, I guess, but
So it's easier on a handline?
yeah.
How's that?
I didn't know you handlined this thing.
Yeah.
First, how they... If somebody gives me a handline, I want to catch a grouper with this, I'm like, why is that easier than a rod and reel?
Probably because there's no drag and it's me against him. And I put my foot up on the side of the boat and I was pulling, leveraging.
What size line is this? Like 400?
No, this is a rope.
Okay.
Straight up, yeah. That's what I like.
Yeah, there's
And
no
also,
line.
I mean, if you got the power to get him up fast like that,
It was a cable. The cable was your leader.
you get him up. They just de-hook the hook, man, and the thing swims right back down.
Yeah, when it's not that deep, like you said, but...
Yeah.
So
he was confident, right? So he drops it down. This is He made a joke because he goes, I hope he doesn't mind my connection because it's a rope to a steel cable. He goes, I hope they don't mind this. So he hooks up the bait, drops it down to the bottom, and he goes, there he is. And I was like,
what?
Yeah,
how fast?
Yeah, like less than a minute. Like he's holding it, and he's like this. He goes, yeah, you're hooked up. Go ahead and take it. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. He's
Give
like,
her a
you're
good
on.
yank.
Yeah. So I grab it. I get like 3 pulls, and so he's a charter boat captain, so he has this giant live well in the back of the boat, and so I'm pulling, and so for whatever reason this thing comes unbuttoned, and I go flying right back in the live well. And so I caught myself, but my ass was pretty much in the water. It was funny.
Well, yeah, imagine, because there's no a rod. You go boom, you fall back, but this is.
Yeah, I put up on the side of the boat.
legs sprung, legs in action mode, and I imagine you just fly.
Yeah. So, it was cool.
You come out of that, you're like ready for nothing, or you're like,
I was nervous though. I was shaking. I was like, dang, this thing is legit. I felt the power.
taste. Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's drop back down.
Is it just one that lives down in this wreck?
No. They're like, you catch one, you're gonna catch another one. So they're endangered, and this is what I got. I actually heard about this before I went down there, and correct. Yeah, and I asked Jason about it, and I also asked the commercial guy, and they both said the same thing. So what happened was, they were endangered, and they got protected. They get giant, and now they eat up all the species on the wrecks because no one can keep them.
Right.
And so they're like, you can be snapper fishing, and you can have a great day, but you're gonna catch 4 or 5, and all of a sudden you're not catching anymore because they're gonna see it, and they're gonna come sit underneath your boat, and they're gonna catch every single one.
Well, there was a shark that
because other than that, they really they say that they generally just eat crustaceans most of the time until people start catching fish around them, and then they eat everything that you want.
See the video of the one bite, one swallow shark? Full on shark.
That's what it is. Yep.
Gone.
Yeah.
So
anything struggling, dude.
Yeah.
They're big enough to eat anything.
Right.
Yeah. A door. They can almost eat a door. You know what I mean?
Well, have you ever seen the Wild Boys, Steve-O and Pontius, and the Jackass guys, and they went what do you call it? Catfish hunting.
Noodling
for Goliath grouper. And that
that does not sound like fun.
They did that. And Manny, the long haired dude, the crazy guy. I used to love that show.
They should have said Wee Man down.
That show. You gotta keep him on tied up.
You're the bait, folks. You would have died.
Wee Man died. Scuba diving.
But yeah, it's some amazing footage, man. They do it, and he pulls him out, and the thing's shaking him. I mean, he's ripped up because the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I was nervous holding the rope. Let's put it that way. So. We went through 4 or 5 baits, and it was just we couldn't get a good hookup.
Just not, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were probably grabbing the back half of it because we were going through the eyes and through the nose, and they're probably grabbing the back, and so it was just enough where I could feel them, and then come undone. So, so long story short, I didn't get one. I started to fight. A couple of them got a couple feet before they come undone.
How many?
It was probably 4 or 5.
At this point, you kind of really.
At baits like this big.
Are you kind of good at this point?
Yeah, I'm like, I wanted to catch one, but it's like, okay, cool, So.
You've done fought 5 of them.
Yeah.
So you fought one. If you put all that together, you fought one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's hilarious. If you ever get a chance to fish with Jason Stock, that guy is hilarious.
Cool.
Yeah. So I mean,
maybe once we get Skype up, we'll have him come on Skype.
Yeah. I mean, he's almost as much of an entertainer as he is a fisherman. He's just BSing with him, just talking with him. I mean, it's not like, it was just he was just hilarious.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
But so that was it for that day. I actually drove up to Tampa, visited my friend. I had a friend that lives in Tampa, and then the next morning I drove over to Fort Lauderdale, checked in my hotel, and that was the captain's meeting. So I met Jack and them at the captain's meeting, and so. He bought into the pot for the biggest king, so you can it's a side pot. So he did that. Yeah, he got into that. It was $100. I was like, man, that's too much for me.
How much was it to enter the tournament?
I want to say it was 85.
Oh, that's not. Dang.
So
with the payout, I would figure that would be like
Yeah, well, I mean, there's
$200
120 anglers.
Ah.
So yeah, plus sponsors.
Is $80 a dozen?
Yeah, $80 a dozen for goggle eyes.
Right.
So
live.
Yep.
So everybody's got to have live rigs.
Well, you just kind of keep your ears open during the captain's meeting, and so some of the guys said that they go out there with dead and they weren't doing anything. So, it was fun. Jack and actually I think every single one of their group won something in the raffle. They love the raffle. I mean, when they come down there at TKA, man, those guys they love it. Yeah, they call it the raffle team because they come down and they do well. But yeah, so it was fun. Met the guys, had a couple of drinks.
Out of what did you have, 180 kayakers? Is that what you said?
No, 120.
120.
Yep.
It always seems like there's a lot of Hobies with that because it's offshore, so they can get more distance.
It was about 90% Hobies. It was. I saw 2 other wilderness systems. I saw a handful of OKs, ocean kayaks, and I think I saw 1 Jackson down there.
Is that probably more of an advantage to have that speedier?
Well, here's the deal. It was a shotgun start the day of the tournament, and I was the first guy out there because I had my Tarpon 140.
Right.
Because those guys, they're dealing with their pedal drives and everything else. So,
but I mean, Hobies can go.
I think they have more torque. If you're trolling something, I think they have more torque than I do. It would be more of a hassle.
That's something.
Plus, you can be more consistent.
Yeah. And they go probably a knot faster than we can.
Yeah.
I mean, Hobies they're faster. I mean, without us and us
at a question about that on the thing.
And us at a paddling at a normal cruise speed.
Right?
Yeah.
3 miles an hour. On average. Yeah, I thought about taking the 160 out just to smoke everyone out to the fishing grounds. Be the first guy out there.
That might have been good.
But okay. So the day before we went out, and they were like, "Hey, the bite's really good, right? First thing, we're gonna go to this one spot."
How far out?
This is a mile and a half.
Oh.
Not too far.
Oh.
I mean,
it's not bad. I thought it was
a
like
mile and a half, 3 miles. Is there 2 or 1?
Is this?
Yes.
Is this is it actually Gulf Stream?
You know what? It's
or getting
close.
to
It's
it.
close.
Right,
Yeah.
What is
it's
it?
not
5 to
there.
7 miles? Is
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's close.
I was, I haven't researched it all that much, but I was just thinking maybe everybody was going out to the Gulf Stream, but it's just close enough where all these fish are coming close to shore.
Well, I mean, that's where all the bait is, and so
and that's why they probably
bait popping and stuff out there. So yeah. So I mean, it doesn't make it. It's not a bad deal for them just to stop in right there and eat.
Yeah.
That's what I assume anyway. Yeah. So they had a couple spots that they liked. So we went out there. One of Jack's buddies instantly hooked up the first day.
Popping bottles.
Yeah. It instantly hooked up. I mean, it was crazy. And so.
Is it trolling?
This is the day before the tournament.
Yeah, the day before the tournament.
But not trolling.
Not trolling. No, live bait. We all kind of get it. We
drifting, not apron though. How?
No, just drifting out there.
What's the depth there?
I want to say
when you're drifting out there, you're probably moving a little bit. I mean, there's current.
Yeah, so, it was between 100 and 150 is typically where we'd be at. So we get far enough away.
So you said 35 miles?
Yeah, 35.
Beach style.
Yeah. So so we went out there. We just got far enough. So if you got a good run, they wouldn't run into your other guys' lines. Right. So we're still shouting distance. We still pretty much talk to each other. Just cast out.
Drift a little bit.
Yeah, I made the mistake. I put like a 1 ounce sinker on one of my king rigs and dropped it down, and the other one I free lined. Somehow those things would always find each other, and they told me that's one of the things they learned real quick was that if you're running 2 lines and you thought you could keep one down, a lot of times somehow they would still find each other, and you just spend a ton of time
working them out.
Yeah, or just cutting the line and retying. It was.
I have noticed that even with live baiting when I stop my cobia drift or paddle, just the drift. I'm putting one rod, my forward rod holder, my free line, and my weighted run here, and somehow it just always get over. No matter which way if I'm blowing this way, then you're gonna get like this.
And that was one of the decisions that I made for tournament day. I was like, I'm only gonna do 1.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of limits me. It's just too much. Yeah. Especially then you got both baits out of the water or whatever, and $80 a dozen. I mean, you can't have them just sitting on your deck so they're still in the water swimming around each other now. I mean, I was over that real quick.
What kind of live well?
Well, I was super lucky because honestly, I mean, from up here, all your live baits, I was just gonna do your flow troll. Your just basic. I got up there and Jack had one made out of a dog food crate. Had a just circulate the water in there, so it was great.
Cool.
So he brought an extra one, so that was awesome. That was a lesson learned that I learned. I was just super lucky that he was prepared in case his went down. So he's like, hey, I got one.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
So Went out there the first day. His buddy caught one right off the bat. It was awesome. You know, I was excited. Yeah, it was king.
And this is an all king tournament?
No. It's pretty much any collegiate.
Okay.
Except for sales. Sales give you so many points or what have you. I think it's a separate division. I didn't really pay attention to that because I wasn't thinking that I was going to catch a sale.
Then what other targets out there?
Wahoo, dolphin, cobia.
King mackerel. Spanish
King.
Spanish, but there nobody's really. I mean, that's not big enough, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and there was like subcategories also, like so. If you caught an AJ, that was like a different category, like a rec category. So, I mean, if you wanted to drop down and you thought you had a good spot for AJs, drop down and get an AJ, you could. Yeah. So,
but it's all one total weight of. Or it's still different.
Correct. Yeah. So if you limit down to kings, you got 2 kings. Then you can go out and you could chase like tuna or dolphin or wahoo or whatever, and then you could add that to your weight also.
Damn. What's the fish limit?
I don't know.
Was it just 2 fish or 3 fish?
No, I think it was
whatever
as much as you could.
The meat hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring your cooler.
I mean, and I might be wrong. I'm sure it's on the website.
Well, I'm sure within the limits of the regulations.
Right. You as long as you're legal, I'm fairly certain that it all added up.
Right.
Into your weight. So that's good.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah.
So that means you can go out and boom, like 2 kings. Like he had 2 kings.
Like, yeah, we knew the bite was gonna be early in the morning. We knew that.
Right. But you can go out 2 kings and he won with 2 kings, but you can go out and catch 1 tuna that could blow that away to yellowfin to potentially whatever.
Well, and that's what he ended up doing
tuna
that day.
They catch over there are black fins.
But what I'm saying is you can catch an 80-pound fish, a cobia, say. You can catch one cobia could win the whole thing. When guys have 5 different species.
A guy caught 1 cobia, supposedly fishing with shrimp and a 1-aught hook. I don't know if he was fishing the Rec Challenge or what. I swear to God, this is what he says. And it was a 45-pound cobia, and he placed.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, a big king is 20 pounds.
Right.
You know, a super giant king is 30 pounds. Yeah, I mean, we're not talking. I mean, again, we're not high-speed trolling for these things. So
Rec slammers.
Yeah. So I mean, especially when you think about how close that is. I mean.
Yeah.
And I mean, and could someone have caught one? Yeah, but I mean, this was just literally a morning of fishing because the weigh-in was at 2. But let me finish it. Let me finish the day. So kept fishing. Ended up hooking a king, and no one was really around me. I was kind of all by myself at that point. It was a good-sized king. Got it up close to the boat, gaffed it, got in the boat. I was super excited. Got a couple photos of it.
Yeah, I saw that. Those are good. That looked like a good one.
Yeah, I was excited. And then
is that your first king?
That was my first one off a kayak.
Yeah.
I've done it off the party boats before because I grew up in Texas, and as a young kid, we go to the party boats and.
So you fought him before? I haven't fought him, but it's
it was fun. Yeah,
Spanish, but
you know what? To
me.
To me,
is that it? But then
they just pull and then you pull back and pull.
Just like
I think the king fight was, or maybe it's because I was younger when I caught him off a boat, was more fun because they pull more drag. Here they're pulling the kayak. You're just okay. So it's not as much drag. Yeah. That's why. Yeah. But like the boat, that
you pull against.
Yeah. So. Anyway, so I caught that one.
The same kind of king ratio did here with the double, triple.
Exact same thing. Yeah.
Light drag because of getting pulled out and all that stuff. So okay.
So
same way.
I went out there and ended up catching another one. The next one was big. It was super big. Didn't get any weights on them. Again, all the photos are up on my website and Facebook. No, I kept both of those.
Do those die when they come up? When you fight them?
No, you could unhook one and let it go. Yeah, if you wanted to, you could do it.
I know. I've caught the one Spanish I caught. I tried to release it and
I mean, you had to be fairly quick. This one, I knew it was my personal best, and I wanted to, get photos. And I was going to eat it.
Yep.
And so I was like, hey, this is my limit. So I gaffed him. I had my limit of kings.
2 person.
Yep. And then kept fishing. I saw a school of false albacore. But so here's the deal. To go back to that, all of the Florida guys call them bonita. It's just blanket. It's a bonita. However, I got this fish ID'd, so I asked a couple of people, I go, what do you call this fish? And they said, okay, this is the difference. So it was actually false albacore, or at least that's what the guys up here say.
Right.
So, I mean, naturally they're jaded, but they said, no, that's not a bonita, that's false albacore. So that's what everyone told me it was. But anyone in Florida is going to tell you it's a bonita. So it is what it is.
But what makes a difference because you can eat one and the other one's bad, right?
Bonitas and false albacores are both pretty bad, but
Yeah.
skipjacks are
okay.
Yeah.
Skipjacks are the good ones.
I let it go either way. So I ended up, I saw the school moving, and I went upstream, knowing my bait was right here. I let my bait drift into the, they're just giant school right there, hitting the bait. Hooked up. Yeah, it hooked up. That was a fun fight, down, and then he did almost like the little tuna thing, coming all the way up. So that was fun. I was really excited to catch that. That was my first. So that was fun. I was excited about that.
You got some ID.
Different.
False albacore, it's all over the top.
What?
Ocean
Stripes?
bonitas, it's on the bottom.
They're false
Stripes.
albacore.
They were false
Talk
albacore.
about-
They were false
What
albacore.
are you talking about? The stripes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, the stripes are what on what?
Atlantic bonita, oceanic bonito, it's underneath.
Stripes are
The stripes are from the pectoral fins back underneath.
They do look identical other than those stripes, though. Like fin
Yeah.
placement and everything.
Yeah, and then the false albacore's on the top half.
Yeah,
and they have
it's more like
3
swirlies,
blood
yeah.
spots down underneath their pectoral fin too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is definitely false albacore that I caught.
Yeah.
They're nice.
It
They're
was
nice.
a
They get
one.
big. I mean,
Yeah.
20, 25 pounds sometimes. And
Yeah.
they're like
Damn.
big ones.
Yeah, Jack
I
was
thought
like,
they were more like football size.
Most of the time.
yeah.
So, some of the ones I've caught on the wrecks down in Hatteras are like 20 pounds.
Okay.
yeah. So that was pretty good.
I think. I mean, I don't know. We don't weigh them.
Yeah.
But they're big. I don't
Yeah.
know. Fight hard.
Yep.
So, and I mean that's by my face, so you can kind of see.
That's a good size.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, that's a false albacore.
Yeah. So
Oh, I'd say that's pretty big. I mean, I've seen them this big.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
What we
it
saw
was
were that big.
Like, yeah, even Jack was like, "That's a big one."
Yeah.
And so I kind of figured I was like,
Oh,
Okay.
hot rod with big fish and shit.
Yeah.
Big ass permit.
yeah, oh yeah, and then the week before I caught that sheep's head, so
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty good.
Making up for the
Man,
spray.
that screeching halted.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah. Then I met Lee.
And he was back in town and it was time for us to go fishing.
Anyway, okay, so the whole time we're kind of comparing to what the previous winners had done. And so Jack had caught 2 the day before, and then I had caught 2, and then everyone had runs and things like that. So we knew that one of us could put together a quality stringer.
Right.
It was just a matter, honestly,
Who was gonna get it?
yeah, I mean, because there's 5 of us, we were all going to do the same thing. I was lucky enough that...
How many were you guys are fishing together? How many other boaters? I mean, how many other kayakers? How many more people are around you?
Okay, so, the day before, no, we only saw one other kayaker pre-fishing, so that was it. So the morning of, we get there at 4:30, we load all of our stuff up, drag it down there. It's cool because the bait boat comes around, anchors almost in the surf, and then everyone weighs out there with their live wells. You already prepaid at the captain's meeting. They said, how many you want? I ordered 6. And I knew that was kind of a lot for my size bait bucket, but I knew one was going to immediately be in the water. I knew I could keep 3 easily alive in there, so I was like, just go ahead and put all 6 because I didn't want to have to call them on the radio and wait for them to show up, and then for 3.
That's cool to
3
have
more
that.
baits.
Like, it's cool to have a bait.
Yeah, he would have done that. So I mean, I just said go ahead and put all 6 in there. Ended up being my downfall because while the bait tank was working the whole time I was on shore, I launched through the surf, and about halfway out to our fishing spot, which took us 20-25 minutes to get to our our fishing location. Maybe a little bit longer than that. So I turned around and I realized it wasn't working. So I checked, and I already had 3 dead. My 6, and I was like, oh god. So I called another guy over.
Water.
Yeah, another guy had gone over, and he lost all of his bait, but his bait tank worked. So I called him over, and so I
One of your
offloaded.
guys.
Yeah, I offloaded my 3 live ones to him because he didn't have any bait, and they're not gonna do me any good if they're all dead.
Yeah.
So we get out to the location. There's a small wreck out there. We knew there was one other kayaker that followed us. Everyone else went somewhere else. Everyone else. So we were just trying to get away from the pack.
Right.
We were gonna fish the exact same area. There, it just was funny. Their hotel ended up being right in front of it, and so we ran out there. One kayaker followed us out there. So I'm actually texting Lee at this point. So we all put our lines out. Within 20 minutes, maybe less than 20 minutes, this guy hooks up to sailfish right like 150 meters away from me.
That guy who followed you out?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so I look over, and this guy has a sailfish jumping, and I'm texting Lee. I'm like, this guy's catching a stick face right next to me.
Right following you.
Oh no, I think it. They thought it was a guy that usually like does really well in these tournaments.
Oh, okay, so he was going out there.
Maybe we stumbled on his spot. So
right.
But I don't know if that was ever confirmed or not. But yeah, he knew exactly where he was going. Yeah. He wasn't following us. He immediately hooks up. And so I mean, it was cool. I've never seen one caught in person. I've seen it on video.
How come you were close enough to watch the fight?
Yeah, I saw it jump out. I didn't realize it was hooked. I was like, that was a sailfish right there. That's the first time I've seen one in real life, dead or anything. So I was like, wow, there he is. Then he kept jumping out, and I realized he was hooked up, and the guy, he landed him. I don't know where that fish placed or not, but it was just cool.
Then it went from like 190 foot to 500 foot.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was just right there.
That's a drop off.
Yeah. We were fishing right close to the drop off. So he was just a little bit further out than us, but like I said, he was 150 yards away from me. I mean, he was right there.
So you got the bait, but you got the bait boat coming, right? Y'all got more bait, or is that what happened?
No, I mean my bait take wouldn't work.
Right.
So I had no reason to get more bait, so I was bumming bait at that point.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you had 5 of us total, so there's 4 guys. I could be like, hey.
Yeah.
So at that point, Jack gets a run with one of his fish. Every single person except for one of us 5 get a run. Mine comes unbuttoned. The other 3 that got a run landed theirs. That same morning, Jack lands another one that's just a stud. Mm-hmm. Just a stud. He's like, this thing is. He puts it in his fish bag and he goes, this tail is sticking out here. This is a big one. And then a safety boat was supposed to come and collect the fish, and they'll mark your fish for you. Yeah, so you don't have to go back in. And so he called, and he was having an issue getting the safety boat out to get his fish. But you could hear on the radio, everyone was like, "Hey, King for pickup, King." And it was
everybody was hooking up.
We knew it was the morning bite. Yeah. So finally.
But you also hearing all that, so you're not too confident about your fish.
Right. Well, we knew he had 2 big ones, bigger than the ones that we thought were big earlier in the week. Okay. So we were like, that the one was
placeable.
Yeah. So, and we knew we still kept trying to judge ourselves off of how well the last person that won did, and we already far surpassed that guy.
Okay.
So again, it was like 6 weeks prior. So, but
right.
So we thought he might place. We were hoping anyway.
Yeah.
So as the day wears on, I turn my radio off. Because I'm not getting any more bites.
Hearing everybody hooking up.
Yeah, and so someone catches a wahoo, someone catches that cobia, a big barracuda.
You said 40-pound cobia?
Yeah, it was like 45 pounds, 45, 46, something like that. So
that's pretty good. I mean, for like you said, like a tournament.
Yeah. So so we go in. You know how it is with tournaments. People's kind of the rumors get going, and all of a sudden this 20-pound kingfish is a 50-pound kingfish.
Oh, yeah.
And we heard all the calls, but we didn't know. Well, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. So Jack got tired of not getting his fish picked up. So he goes in, drops his fish off at the weigh-in, like on the beach.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, you go out to 500 feet and start fishing for tuna. And so he's like, okay. So he goes out there and he starts jigging for tuna all day. He didn't catch any. I don't think there was any tuna actually caught.
Right.
None that I heard of or saw. So, yeah. I mean, it was. The whole thing was cool. So we go in. They had these tents everywhere. They had free food, free beer. A band on a stage. It was amazing. It was like a boat tournament.
Yeah.
It really was. Right. They did it up right. So that was really cool.
Joe Hector he's the guy who puts the whole thing on.
Yeah. He was really cool. Jack went, pretty much we would fill all of our stuff through Jack. As a team, he was almost like a team captain because he had set it all up. He had organized us.
And he had gone down and pre-fished. And
right. Well, he went with the 4 guys prior.
Right.
But it was very systematic. They went out the first day. He said they didn't do very well. They're in the right area. They just didn't do very well. None of them caught anything. Because he was giving me reports every weekday. He would send me a text, hey, this is what's up. And then they went out with a charter boat captain who trolled for him. And so that really was like, okay, we kind of think we know what's up.
On a boat.
Right, on a boat.
Just to get the
area they said this is the area we're fishing. How would you fish it? Pretty much, that's what they did. And so they caught some kings, but nothing spectacular. Okay, that's fine. The next day, Jack, I think that's when he got his 2. So he caught 2 that day, and everyone had done well that day.
Right.
And then the following days when I went there and I caught my 2, and everyone else had runs and such. So the tournament day, Jack caught, everyone else caught them except for me and one other guy, and mine came undone. So,
Yep.
you know, it is what it is. It happens.
Yep.
Nothing I could do about it. Just, you know, you got 120 other guys out there. I mean, I figured I'd be lucky to get one bite.
Yeah.
So, so we get up there, we're waiting, and just with these rumors, it kind of starts to get to the whole group. Like, they're like, man, how can you have 2 slobs and it's not even a place? Because the cobia is now 50, 60 pounds, and the wahoo's 50 pounds, and so we're like,
Yeah.
you know, and all they need is a kingfish, an average sized kingfish with one of those fish, and they're gonna win. Yeah. So we're like, so I was like, don't leave, and we talked about it because they were about to take off. They're like, this is stupid. They were hot.
Yeah,
and so, yeah. I mean, I get it, and they put so much work into it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The amount of work.
Yeah,
that
but
was
still,
put
you
into
know,
it.
it's just tournament crap, tournament talk. It's yeah, like you said, like
that's what it goes
is.
From and everyone's guessing because there was no official weigh-in yet, and so everyone's guessing. And
a guy comes in, he got caught a 20-pound cobia, and he tells him, well, he caught a 25-pound, 35, 45, 60, yeah.
Well, they had a giant cooler, and so we went and looked in the top, and there were some. It turns out one of them was his, but you can't tell. And so we were like, wow, that's a big one. So we wait for the weigh-in. We hang out, have a couple of beers. Again, free.
Do you go out there while your fish are being weighed?
No. They'll say whose it is, and then they'll weigh it. And they say this giant box full of kingfish and everything else. And they say, hey, you know, how much y'all think this one weighs, and then weigh it. And then, so, like for Jack, it would be like, Jack Dowtry, this is his fish, they weighed it. So, you know, so if you wanted to keep tabs, you could keep tabs on different anglers. Right. And so they went through, and the guy that was in charge of the bait, well, Jack had been buying bait from this guy all week. So he kind of formed a friendship with this guy. Mm-hmm. He's like, man, I think you got it. He's like, you got a solid stringer, man. So, you know, we stuck around.
How long is this now? By the time he was almost about ready to leave. Well, by the time he was almost about ready to leave. By the time
2 hours. Yeah.
2 hours that dude being
because, you know, then they'll have, you know, Heroes on the Water guy, you know, the local chapter come up and talk.
Yeah. Calculate.
Yep,
shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So, okay, well, this person won the mount, or, you know, whatever it is. So that, you know, just like TKA, how they do that. So, and it was fun. It was a good time. And then finally, they announced that he won. It was, you know, they would go, you know, from the bottom up, mm-hmm. and he won. It was awesome. I mean,
I like that bottom up because you know you play somewhere, but it's not. You don't hear yourself. And by the time you get in the third and second, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So so it was awesome. We were all super stoked. I mean, we looked at it as a team effort. Obviously,
yeah.
I showed up late, but we all looked at it as we wanted one of us to win, mm-hmm. or to place. That was the goal, was to place.
Right.
If one of us places, that's a win for us because this is their backyard.
Yep.
They've been here all year.
Yep.
You know, really, you know, and that was the goal the whole time. From starting in Afghanistan, we thought we could go down there and one of us would do well.
Yeah.
And we kind of knew, we thought we would come out with a decent stringer. And sure enough, it happened. I mean, everything came together at exactly the right time. And so it worked out. I mean, it was great. But I mean, it was all the extra work. Like, I couldn't have come out there and pre-fish unless I just, by dumb luck, stumbled upon them and, you know, and caught them that way.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, you guys went to the spot because of the pre-fishing that he had done.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Oh, yeah. They definitely helped me out. Like, I bought them beers and stuff like that because I was like, okay. You know, I'll be, like, at the captain's meeting, I bought the first round. I was like, y'all already put in the work,
I think
guys.
what the check was like 35?
Yeah, 3,500, I think.
35?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I couldn't. I knew it was. Yeah, I knew it was in the 3.5. I couldn't remember if it was. 5.
Yeah, another one was like 1,500 and a Hobie kayak, and I mean there were some good prizes out there. So.
Did he win any prizes or just the money?
I think it was a rod, like a custom built rod, as well as the money.
Okay. Yeah.
Not
a boat.
No.
Yeah.
Well, not that I know of. I mean, I didn't see him loading anything up, but.
Well, damn, that's fucking.
Yeah,
cool.
it was fun. I had a great time. I mean, obviously, that was my first kingfish from a kayak. Personal best kingfish, period.
Yeah.
That big one I caught. So I was thrilled.
And the permit on the other side. I mean, it was a
boat.
It's just you handled one of those things.
Yeah.
What was the skin like on that?
Smooth.
Smooth, not scaly.
No.
Yeah.
Real smooth.
That's what I thought. That's what it looks like.
It looks like kind of like mackerel almost.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
so
it felt
super
like.
small scales. I mean, like
Yeah,
super duper,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
soft small scales. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Filleted out. What did the meat look like?
You know what? We got to the beach and we had several people come up to us and were like, "Can we have those?" And I asked Jack
Bombarded.
because I was gonna keep
You know
one.
the kings or the permit?
Permit.
Oh,
permit. Yeah.
Oh no, it was real white.
Yeah.
Yeah, just yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, because we filleted those, we actually went up to the dock, filleted them, had a beer. There's a
Check
restaurant.
the
on the dock.
bellies when you imagine just crabs and shit.
I didn't. Yeah, we caught
Do
them on
they-
crabs.
I mean, what you caught them on? Cut bait.
Crabs.
You caught them on the past
Yeah,
crabs.
yeah. The ones we caught.
So they don't live bait. They don't like use live bait on them. Just crabs.
Just crabs,
crustacean.
yep.
Yeah, they're crab eaters.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I know kings are bloody red.
yeah, we got to the beach and people almost mobbed us, being like, you know, because I pulled my two
Yeah,
out.
you got
and they were
a
like,
tournament, man. You can't.
they were like, well. So I said, yeah, that's fine. You know,
What after the tournament?
no, this is the day
Oh,
before.
the day
Yeah, the
before,
day
yeah.
before when I caught my two.
Yeah.
I gave both my fish away. I mean, you know, they wanted them. You know, you could tell some of these people
Right.
they were really excited about it. Like they were more excited than I was. So I was like, hey, that's fine. Knock yourself out. So I'm sure it fed a couple of families. So
Oh, cool. That's
yeah, I mean, they were
awesome
super
flight.
excited. This woman literally drug it to her car immediately, left the beach, put a piece of plastic down in the back of her car, threw the kings in there, shut it, and left the beach. She was going straight home.
Yeah.
Excited. So.
Of course, you're going to.
Oh yeah,
Right now.
yeah. So
That's cool. That's a good Florida trip, man. You got to catch some cool fish.
yeah, I couldn't have
Yeah.
asked for a better trip.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And to think that I almost got a Goliath grouper on top of all that. But,
Hand lined.
Stupid.
yeah. Next time.
All right. So then you come back here and reality hit you.
Yeah.
You go fishing with Lee
Yeah.
on your
No, it
boat.
isn't even. It's just.
And your boat.
It's It's like we are literally the black hole.
Whenever we get together, no fish will be caught. None.
He tried to pull that shit on me when we went out, and it was like, you know, all angry and shit. It was like, calm down and catch the spades. And
Oh
no
no.
spades.
Yeah. Nothing compared to what,
I have no voice
what was
today.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a rough outing, I should say. It was one thing after another.
So the first start of the weekend sucked. We sat around all day waiting for the boat when it was supposed to be. We could have gone and done something else.
Yeah, in the morning you could have kayak fished.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I had I won't say where, but
Yeah.
I had some
Yeah, 'cause the
some
work was
wiring
awesome.
stuff. Yeah. I had some wiring stuff done. I had speakers done. You know, I spent a decent amount of money and sat there all week while I was in Florida. And I called him the day before. I said, "Look, I'm trying to pick it up Thursday morning. How early can I pick it up?" So we will open at 10. I said, "Okay, that's fine." Go, when can I pick up my boat? Because you've already had it for over a week.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I don't want to call it a simple job, but you know, it was sorting
Taking a
out.
couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Once
the
you
bus.
did, once they got on it, it's
Right,
In front of
yeah,
us
yeah,
when
yeah,
we got
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And so, ultimately, they ended up telling me show up at 10, and we showed up at 10. And when did we leave? 1:30.
Yeah.
No, like 2:15.
Okay. So
So I remember texting you.
yeah, we were not happy about it. It was stupid. Because I specifically said if it's not ready by the time you leave tonight,
Yeah.
call me and I'm gonna do something else.
Yeah.
Because I told him I was gonna take the boat fishing, so he needed to call me, you know, right then.
You never-
No call. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna pick up the boat in the morning.
Yeah.
Right.
I show up and that.
Eels, everything. We got
Yeah.
them.
Oh yeah. We were literally all I had to do is give
pay
him my
for it?
credit card and hook up the boat.
Yeah.
No. And so yeah, we were none too happy.
So we had to hang out at the mall for a little bit.
We hung out in the shop watching him work while we drank beer. That's what that was the best part of that
That's
day.
how it ended.
Yeah. That's when they knew that we were pretty serious. We were sitting there drinking our fishing beer, watching them
Watching
work.
them.
Anyway, so
So you got out though.
yeah, finally we ran out to Rudy and then we ran out to the buoys. We just didn't see anything. There was a bunch of boats running the buoys that day.
Yeah.
And the sun was getting low at that
Yeah,
point.
it was just, you know, we should just call it a day.
Yeah.
But we didn't. I mean, that's because we really want this fucking cobia.
Bad.
So then you went out the next day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was supposed to be terrible conditions.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be not windy. So we were hoping maybe we'd see some surfers.
Right.
Something like that.
Or pilings. You fish pilings too.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, it gets sunny for a while. We get out in the open and we are on top of the rays, like where these cobia have been, just right on top of the rays. I mean, it's
Sea turtles.
perfect sea turtles.
Rays,
nothing,
everything.
nothing to be found.
Yeah.
Stingrays, as far as you could, I mean, it'd be easy to see a cobia because they would be swimming around on top of the stingrays.
Right.
I mean, there's that many stingrays.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, it was.
And that's really Ben.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we.
Then you had a bolt come out.
Yeah,
or some
so
shit.
we pretty much we get it's almost misting on us at this point, so you can't see anything. It's the wind is picked up, so it's rough. It's misting on us, and we're like, let's just go to the bridge because we're gonna be able to see them if they're around the pilings.
Yeah. At least
Especially in the tower. In the tower, you can look down and see them. So, okay, so we make it run, and all of a sudden,
2 minutes into it.
yeah, we just hear slamming, and I look at Leah, I go, that bolt came out. Because at first we both like looked at each other, what the hell?
You're
And
in the tower?
No.
Okay.
We make the runs underneath, and I looked at it, I was like, that bolt came out. That's the tower. And we came up, sure enough. And so what's funny is when we picked up the boat, Lee, like, mentioned, he goes, like, man, it looks like this bolt could work out. And the guy's like, no, this is the best way.
Yeah, I mentioned to the guy that put the tower on.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this thing looks like it's going to work its way out of here.
Right.
So, so then we're like, well, if we got to drive, 8 miles an hour, we might as well be in the tower looking.
Yeah.
So Lee and I are sitting about this far apart, furious. Not even looking. Furious. Because the bridge is like 8 miles away.
It's fucking starting to rain.
Yeah, it was raining. We were, so, oh my God.
But it's stopping the tower from slamming like crazy. Us leaning on it, it's keeping it against its metal plate.
Right.
So it's not bam, maybe 2 seconds.
It's not gonna fall apart, but it was just making noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other side eventually was going to rattle out, and it was really going to get rough then.
Yeah.
So, Lee and I are really good about if one person's pissed off, the other person will be like cool about it.
Right.
That's why I like it.
Me and him do that too.
That's what I like about Lee.
Me and him are good at that too.
Is 9 times out of 10, he'll calm me down.
Right. He does me.
I can't calm him down. I can't.
I'm pretty good at it. I just let him know to just, this ain't gonna help him.
Yeah, he'll know when I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this. This is crap.
I mean, I don't get. I just. They ain't gonna help you, and then I paddle away from him for a little while. And he comes back, and he's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen on the
Yeah.
way.
And me too. I get pissed, and,
Yeah.
he says something to me, slaps me around a little bit, and
Yeah.
paddles away, and I calm down, and
Yeah. So
best friends.
Right.
we were having a giant pity party. It was a giant pity party.
Look at us, we fucking suck.
Oh.
What do you mean? I was getting to Texas.
Oh, God.
This is what happens every time, man. This is what we are. I was like, that's a fucking boat, man.
Yeah,
From my perspective, no boat owner.
That's what we told. I was like, I've had such a good week kayak fishing. Why the fuck am I not catching anything in this boat? I mean, I'm sorry if cussing is bad on it, but it was just why? And so Lee he goes, I've never tried so hard consistently for something and just not have it. Like doing the right thing, going to the same places, and seeing other
I
people
watch
successful.
gaffs abound. You know what I'm saying? I watch gaff shots abound.
Yeah,
every
like
time I'm on the
we
water.
are in the right area. We're doing exactly what they're doing. We're not catching fish.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Not even seeing them. That's the thing.
We
Yeah,
suck.
So we get up to the pilings. Well, I'm sorry. Before we get to the pilings, Lee goes, "How could this day get any worse?" And I was like, "Well, I'll tell you."
Rattle.
He's like, I'll tell you. What?
What was that? The rattle of the
No, that's
bugs?
all after that.
Oh.
He's like, that's how it'll get worse. And he looks at the fucking leader rod that we're using the eel on. He's like, there's no tagline on that. It's just going to break.
Oh.
The knot's just going to pull out.
Yeah, I was
And
like,
I was like, man, fuck that. I tried it against a pole. I pulled it
yeah,
against
he
a
pulled
pole.
drag off it. Like, and so
So I'm like, it's fine.
yeah, so I was like, this is how it's gonna happen. We're gonna fucking finally see a fish. We're gonna cast it. It's gonna be a nice fish. It's gonna fucking eat, and the fucking knot's gonna come undone. He's like, no fucking way. I was like, Lee knows knots way better than I do. Period.
Yeah, right.
Period.
No,
Right.
He does better knots
Yeah.
than he does.
Yeah,
really
I
fancies.
suck at knots.
He
I
does
suck at
fancies.
knots. So I'm like,
He fancies his life.
so, but I know like literally that's the worst thing that it doesn't matter if you're having a great day. When that shit happens, you're done. And so we start looking. I look over this piling. I go, there's one. And so we see it. We drive right past it. We actually got a little bit close to the piling. It was like almost hugging the piling, just looking up at us. Like, I swear it was wrapped up.
Do you have food?
Yeah. So I drove past it. I did the big loop. That was the best time I handled the boat too. It was like perfect shot. Lee, perfect freaking cast. Everything was finally coming together. Finally, like
it was
six.
It was
chips.
not even a giant fish. It was not a giant with like a 35, 40 pounder. Perfect size to catch.
Yeah. Right. He reels it up. The fish. This is the coolest part to me. Like he reels it up and he stops. And the fish like flares his gills and like gets as big as he can and like goes out. I was like, that's awesome.
I feel the rod just go thump. It's in free spool.
Yeah.
I just
still feel it thumping.
Yeah.
Like, it was
okay.
It was just awesome to see that fish. You know, I mean, that relatively big fish eat like that. It was awesome. I was like, just to see it get angry at something and kill it. I was like, that was awesome. And then
set the hook. We start pulling it away from the piling.
Yeah, so I start driving away from the piling.
The deal with piling fishing is just. And easing them away. If you can get them to follow you before they know they're hooked, you are in. If you can get them 50, 60 yards away from the bridge, they'll forget about it.
So not bearing on them, just leading.
Yeah, you just drive. But and if you can lead them away 50, 60 yards from the bridge, they forget it's even there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But when they're right on it, they're allowed to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So we got this thing coming with us. We get them like 25, 30 feet, 40 feet, something like that. You know, we're. He's moving along good, decides to turn his head and go the other way, and the line just bang! And I just looked at Jay and was like, that fucking leader just pulled out. And at that point, like, that's the reason I don't have any voice today.
Oh, God.
It's very ballistic.
Oh, God.
Full on.
Oh, crazy.
So,
unrestricted anger.
So at that point, I'm not, like, he's like, I'm sorry. I was like, no. I mean, I've been there. I've done it, and I'm...
Yeah, and he's double mad because you called it. It's not just the fact that it happened, but you fucking called it before it happened, and that's where he's double mad.
Yeah.
That's where
and that was our chance, dude. I told him that morning, I was like, dude, we're gonna get our chance today.
And you called not only but the exact scenario.
Yeah.
like Nostradamus. Seriously, like Nostradamus.
It was perfect. I mean, literally, we saw the fish, turned the boat around, got set up. I casted one time. One cast.
Flare out, angry.
I reeled the eel 2 feet, let it sink. As soon as I put the reel back in free spool, the fish just goes like this, whoosh, and turns down. And I was like, "That's okay." And you just put the hook in him a little bit. You know, I mean, you got to hook the fish,
right?
But you don't have to like Jose Wahebe his ass yet.
Exactly. There's the old dance.
Right.
Done fish like that before.
You got him stuck. You know what I mean? You get that thing pulling. You get him where you want, and then you can really just...
Yeah. Then he's going to fight you.
And then... or he'll swim right next to the boat like that 67-pounder in the video.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Well, so we keep looking.
Oh.
Yeah. We saw another one real deep that we turned around on and didn't...
We just saw his head. It was like...
Yeah, like
his head, like, looking up at us.
No, same size fish.
Yeah.
You know, just...
Yeah.
But really deep, 4 or 5 feet down.
Yeah.
I've not seen that. I've always seen them on top. Yeah. You know, every time I've seen them on top. But I'm always looking when I go past the pines. I see a big shadow down there.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll see more than the shadow. The water's clearer than you think. You'll see a fish just swimming.
If he's further down, you know, it's just a, you know, I'm looking for anything. I'm looking through that water. I'm looking for anything that looks like him. Sometimes shadow, or even shadows on the bridge will throw me off and make me look even harder. But yeah.
We saw another group. I didn't see him. Lee saw him before I did on that group.
There they are.
Yeah.
Did you try the jig the deeper one out?
Yeah, you threw that one, but
the jig's all fouled up.
Well, the false albicores nipped at it the day before because we saw those out there.
All right.
And so we threw them and it nipped it, so it was not swimming. Which would be a common theme for that group, for the next group.
Right. This would be a common group for the next group of fish we found. So Dante got eaten. Broke off.
We named our eels.
We had the eels on the boat so long.
8 hours. You gotta name them.
Dante got eaten.
So Dante got eaten.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
Dante got eaten. He was good.
Yeah.
It was good eel.
So there's Reggie's turn.
Reggie's
up. I put Reggie on the hook.
He's all right.
He's all nice, hanging out. He's good. We come across this pot of fish. It's like, I see 3. 2 are small. Small.
All right.
1 is not small. 50,
sea monster.
Yeah,
Right.
50 pounds.
Right.
You know what I mean? A nice one.
Right.
Throw Reggie out there. Reggie twitches like a crazy son of a bitch, right? The fish are like, let's look at him. They swim up to him. Reggie goes limp.
He had a heart attack. Done.
From then on, Reggie didn't want to swim.
That was it.
So like the little
That
one
was it?
died. No,
Yeah.
it was so crazy.
And
Though.
they
Like
would
the
follow it
the
up
little
with-
one would like nipped his tail, and then the big one came up, literally pushed the little one out of the way, and he let go, and then he didn't eat it. Like,
chicken?
he just
4 or
looked
5
at
times.
it.
Yeah, we did whatever we. Twitches. Dude, 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
He would swim up behind it. I put a new eel on. He followed that up once, and then they disappeared.
Yeah, it was.
A new eel just
Going crazy.
followed it up once. The big one followed it up once.
He didn't freeze up? That
No.
eel didn't freeze up?
No.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a name
Reggie.
yet.
Reggie had learned.
Reggie. Oh yeah.
He knew how not to get eaten.
That's all right. I
Go
killed
play
Reggie.
dead.
Reggie bounced off the piling,
Yeah.
fastball style.
Yeah. Any questions on the thread for tonight?
Dave Lusk wants to know how we feel about Hobie kayaks.
No.
I don't. There's definitely an application. I mean,
application.
Yeah.
and actually, we talked about it. The new boat, the new Predator. We were kind of hoping it was a
pedal drive.
foot drive.
Yeah, it's absolutely a market for a pedal drive. I think, me personally, I think if you can paddle, you should paddle.
Right.
You know, I just me personally, because I'm a paddler. That's just my biased view. But also feel like that you're more maneuverable. You know, especially what we fish. When
Right.
we fish out of the water, piling structure, and
Okay, so everyone else was in Hobie's at the tournament.
Well,
and so,
personally, my legs aren't as strong as my upper body. So I'm actually better with my upper body than my legs are jacked up. My legs are not jacked up as strong as jacked up as any injuries. So I don't like bike riding as much. So
Yeah.
that's my personal thing about it. But absolutely, even when I said, will a Hobie have an advantage on this tournament? I mean, that was a legitimate
yeah,
question from me
if you're
personally.
if you're trolling, I would say yes. I
Yeah.
would say if you're drifting live baits, no.
A guy asked me from New York about he was I think going from a boat and getting in a kayak and he was asking me what do you want to do, and I was like, most of the guys up there do trolling and they use Hobies. I mean, honestly, that's if you're, and he said I'm doing more kind of structure fishing. I was like, well, get it, you paddle. Get a paddling boat, get a tarpon, series
back
or
up,
a trident.
Right.
I mean,
And I had this discussion with Jack and them because they straight up asked me, they go, how come you're not fishing on a Hobie? That's the question because, again, they're from Maryland, so most of those guys fish on the Hobies. And so I don't want to say that they look down on you, but the question mark is there. Why aren't you in a Hobie? And so really I fished the pilings a lot. Like, if you look around, the local guys have a harder time, for whatever reason.
they have to paddle.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Jack has caught some monsters at the bridge, but he puts in a lot of time to do it.
Yeah.
And not that we don't put in a lot of time, but
You gotta do it like that dude. You gotta get the tandem jewel and sit in the front while your wife.
I have seen that. There's one guy that goes out there and he has his wife paddle while he sits in the front and fishes.
Yeah, his wife is the paddler.
Yeah. I've seen it happen 2 or 3 times over 2 years.
She's fishing.
I've seen it. It's a small boat. It's a small,
real small.
It's not a sit inside, is it?
No, it's on top.
Yeah.
It's super high too.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, she
seen
must
it close
really
in.
love him to be like, I will paddle you around the way you fish.
Maybe
'Cause I
she's-
cannot imagine that.
Maybe she's like
Against the
better.
current.
Maybe she's better paddler. She might be a better paddler.
She really wants that food. She wants that fish. So
She might just be a better paddler than you.
yeah.
I mean, he
Well,
might
he's
have.
a lot
He
better
might.
fisherman.
He might. Yeah, that, or he might have an upper body injury where it doesn't paddle as well.
Yeah, I bet that's what it is. I cannot wait to have my next wife paddle me around. I'm gonna get a tandem, and she can paddle me around while I fish.
That's right.
Because I'm clearly going to be a better fisherman. Clearly.
Clearly.
Have you seen our record?
You just caught a fucking big permit, man. Comes back here and sucks.
Charter fishing.
Comes back here and
count.
sucks.
True. Boat fishing is for the birds.
Yeah, that was the thing, is when he started talking about boats and stuff, my first thought is like, fucking boats, man.
Yeah.
Fucking boats.
So, yep. That's
Yeah.
I mean, it was an amazing week to go from catching for kids to turn around the next day and,
That's right.
and drive down.
You did the podcast and went down the next day.
I got like 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Got on the road. Went to Confluence. So I saw like Wilderness Systems, how they were built. It was an amazing process. It was. And I asked if I could take photos. They're like, no, there's too much stuff going on here. You can't. Well, their prototype stuff was, even from the people that worked there, was behind a separate wall, like walled off, and they had their own like I don't want to say kiln, but they had their own thing, so they could make their own kayaks, the prototypes in there, and even the people working there couldn't see it. And I was lucky they took me in there to see it. I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome. So they showed me some like we have a brand new kayak that they haven't even talked about yet, and they were like, yeah, come check it out. What do you think? And I was in Afghanistan, so I wasn't a part of, like, what do you need for this type of fishing? And so it was really cool to see that they're always thinking, they're always trying to, and it's all the manufacturers, but it was cool that, I showed up, and it wasn't an outsider because I didn't work there, but they were like, and actually, no kidding, the designer of the boats came up to me, and he goes, man, I really appreciate what you do. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like yeah, without y'all doing this, I'm nothing. I just go out there and I try to do the best that I can. In the kayaks. You
guys make the tools that give us.
Right. That's right. That's exactly what I said. I said, this is the tool that I use. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool. Everyone was super nice there. So it was exciting.
So when is y'all's the new boat coming out? Not the one you saw.
The offshore. Yeah, offshore. I had a little bit of input on that one. It comes out, I want to say September. I think they're taking pre-orders now.
Pretty much all those new boats that were shown this year, like been seeing Salmon's boat, the Kraken.
Yeah,
that looks it looks pretty interesting too.
Yeah, I like the whole shape on that one.
Yeah, I like the two new long boats coming from Jackson, and you guys are
15.6 from Jackson or something like that.
Right, long boats. Yeah, I knew it would be a long boat. Because he likes the 15. He rode that when he came in here. Yeah.
The 14 on ours is only, I want to say 29 inches wide, and so it's still gonna be a fast boat. So so that's why I asked. Now the one that's a little bit bigger is gonna be a little bit wider.
Right.
So my first thresher will be the 14-foot.
They're gonna make two threshers.
Yeah, there's two.
Oh, cool,
yeah, there's
cool.
two. There's it's like 15 and a half and a 14.
Yeah.
And so
that's exactly like the Ultras, the 15 and a half.
Especially for my applications, I mean, it really, and if I'm going to go super far, I'm going to take the 160 because it's just the most efficient in our line.
Yeah, really.
And so,
it's a fast boat.
But long story short is they're going to have one out at TKA. I asked them, I said, please make sure you get one of these out here. And they're sponsoring the tournament, but also they said, we're going to send. I think it's Rob Alderman's actually supposed to come up here.
Yeah. He's coming up here.
He's been in it.
Yeah.
One of the prototypes, but
him and Senor Prick.
It's a
Hi.
it's actually a loving name from Lee about Rick. Lee's playing words. I don't think he's a prick, but pictures from you.
I think it's gonna be a production model, so it'll be like there's no more, because they had a prototype and then they adjusted it. Because there's some things that they didn't like about the hull, and so they adjusted it, and then they're going to make their final adjustments, and I think they should have the molds. They should be in production early next month.
When it come out, November?
Yeah, well, they're going to start shipping them, obviously right when it gets, they're going to go out, so it's going to be all through September is when everyone's going to start getting their first boats. So
this month's almost done anyway. I mean, it's almost
they may already have the mold. I don't know. They were talking about it's going to come in sooner than they thought. So, obviously, make sure the mold and everything is good, and then start running through the line. Yep. And they'll send it through. So, it was really cool to see how they make the colors, and it was just almost like sand that they poured in there to make the different colors.
Looking cool, and the new Galaxy color in the tarpons is
just like the purple and the blue.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
I've only seen it like once in person.
It's bright, but it's cool looking. I wouldn't want to ride it because it's kind of disco-y, rave-ish.
Yeah. Jimmy Miller's new rig.
Jimmy Miller would love it.
Speedy's hot sauce.
We got the thing before this too that you got to put on the video.
I'm not gonna put that on. Yeah, I can't do that on here. Yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna do that separately on my page.
Right.
Just because mine's on there, I'm gonna just put yours on there too because it was funny as shit. Right. But we're getting close to any more questions.
Favorite fish.
Right now, reds.
Yeah.
Reds.
Always sheepshead for me. Always.
They were on my second favorite for a while. My second right now is I guess because of
Croaker.
Yeah.
Croaker's my favorite fish.
Because it's what I can catch. I can catch those.
I can catch. If we went to Judy's, what beer will we get and why? Oh shit! We need to have him on after he's been to Judy's for a few.
Who's that?
Joe Massini.
He's moving soon, so.
He's moving. Yeah, he's moving down to Carolina. Well, June. Yeah.
Norfolk Canyon.
Norfolk.
They probably don't
Is that
have
it?
Norfolk Canyon at
Is that it
Judy's.
on the
Yeah.
Is that no question? No more questions?
How many people we get up to today?
We're on 6 right now. I think 8. Fuck, my eyes have gotten so bad, dude. I'm going blind.
By now we're looking at it.
Is this 6? 6? Okay.
Yeah, we're 6.
Couldn't tell if it was 6 or 8. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your Sunday night with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
Oh yeah. It was fun.
Time to watch Wicked 2 then.
Go and work on this.
Yep.
It was fun, yeah, dunking you. That was cool.
That's fun.
We'll do it again.
The idea was,
nice.
the first idea was to have you jump in it. And you were like, I'm doing that. And we're like, all right.
I can see that going bad though. I can see that going real bad.
Or then you were like, we're going to dump it on you. I was like, nah, I can get all wet because it's going to make us wet. It's gonna spray all
it
over
made
us.
me wet.
And then we had an idea where we're just going to pick them up and throw them in.
Right.
And dunk them in. It was like, yeah, we can do it. We're strong. We can do it. We did. So
We should have dropped him in and walked off.
You remember that.
The podcast ended.
Podcast canceled.
Yeah.
Enraged.
All right, cool. We're gonna wrap it up. Jay Brooks, VirginiaKayakFisherman.com, and thanks to our sponsors, Yak Attack at yakattack.us. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. We got Drew Camp and Chip Camp. His dad Chip is coming on, so we got them on next week. I think next Monday maybe.
When is he going to college?
He's regular. He's still in school.
Oh.
High school. Yeah, he's still in high school.
Prom.
Oh yeah, he's doing cross country.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna have him on a Monday. I think Sunday or Monday. One of those days. I think Monday's gonna be good for him. I talked to him at the shop.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I always wanted to get him in there, and yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to cuss, but I've been. Yeah. Whatever. Hi guys, yakattack.us. Thank you.